one of the three great archers of Divine Capital. Unexpectedly, she's only fit to do odd jobs at Evil Sky Pavilion. At this moment, Jade Consort slightly smiles. Old senior, I have other matters to attend to and must take my leave first. Lu Zhou slowly stands up and says one word. Wait, what advice does the old senior have? Have you ever seen Molly, the second prince's consort? I have indeed seen her. However, Molly has always been introverted and doesn't socialize much. Please rest assured, old senior, my heart is with the emperor and I would never associate with them. Lu Zhou does not speak. Instead, he looks at Nine Bends River with his hands behind his back. Just then, a lazy voice comes from the top of Skylark Tower. Wow, even Jade Consort can be put in a spot. Old senior, Yunsan is after all a person under Jade Consort. Without Jade Consort's support, how dare he covet the heavenly silkworm gloves? If not punished, it might damage the reputation of Evil Sky Pavilion. Ming Shireen expresses approval. It's rare for you to make sense. Evil Sky Pavilion has always been clear about grievances. Oh no, always clear about gratitude and grudges. With these words, the originally relaxed atmosphere suddenly becomes tense. Jian Ijian continues, Old senior, you have already seen through everything. Do you still wish to continue? At this moment, Jade Consort's face suddenly turns ugly, and Lu Zhou does not speak, as if waiting for something else. Purple smoke begins to emerge from Jade Consort, and a familiar red lotus appears on her forehead. As the purple gas spreads around, the golden lotus on Jade Consort's forehead slowly dissipates. Her haggard appearance also gradually fades, and her disciples watch in surprise. I thought she was a powerful witchcraft cultivator, ready for a big battle, but the red lotus on Jade Consort's forehead faded away, and she became listless and fell into a coma. Jian Ijian, did you know she was being controlled all along? Hearing Ming Shireen's question, Jian Ijian chuckles. Yes, I have to act low-key. She could see everything here through Jade Consort's eyes. After all, I'm so outstanding, it would be bad if I were recognized. He does not directly reveal his identity as the third prince. Maidservants, soldiers, and flowers in Moon Journey do not recognize Jian Ijian, thinking this suddenly emerging person must also be a demon from Evil Sky Pavilion. Otherwise, why would he be so shameless? Flowers in Moon Journey, shocked, speaks. Are you saying that Lady Jade Consort is being controlled? Jian Ijian glances at her dismissively. Nonsense. Jade Consort is not a cultivator, just an ordinary person, able to move freely in the palace, serving the most powerful man in the world today. If I were Molly, why would I miss such a good opportunity? Ming Shireen, puzzled, asks, since she is being controlled, why didn't they use Jade Consort to ambush us? Jian Ijian raises a finger to explain. First, Molly must have been seriously injured. Second, witchcraft released through a puppet can only unleash up to 60% of its power. Facing a powerful person like the old senior, she could only choose to retreat. Thus, she sought peace through Jade Consort, also to buy time for healing. In this way, Jade Consort is also a victim. Molly, with such a mindset and maliciousness, it's a loss she didn't join Evil Sky Pavilion. Upon hearing this, Duan Musheng and Little Yuaner immediately fix a murderous gaze on him. Seeing this, Jian Ijian quickly corrects himself. What I mean is, she ultimately takes the low road. This is called evil. The grand path is demonic. What are you standing around for? Take your Lady Jade Consort away. Take her back. Flowers and Moon Journey was about to turn and leave, but Jian Ijian said she couldn't go. Do you plan to go back to Molly and become her minion? Flowers and Moon Journey stands frozen in place. Lu Zhou watches Jian Ijian intently, as if eyeing prey, and calls out his true name, Lu Chen. Jian Ijian, startled, shudders. I don't like to show off. Often it's a last resort, including this time. After showing off, Jian Ijian immediately regrets. Why be so loose-lipped, showing off for no reason? This doesn't fit my style at all. The great demon with his keen insight had already noticed something amiss. He wouldn't intervene, yet it would still come to this point. Moreover, facing the #1 great demon of the world today, along with 3 little demons, any one of them could take my life. Jian Ijian, with a chuckle and a shameless face, says, Old senior, my name is Jian Ijian. Lu Zhou sits on the windowsill. You seem quite adept at making calculations to your advantage. Old senior, we're partners. Don't you think the outcome is quite good for both sides? I'm afraid it's not enough. Lu Zhou briefly calculates. To capture Yunsan, he used up 3 cage-binding cards, which, although part of his stock, are now much more expensive as item cards have universally increased in price. Yunsan only has the cultivation of the Divine Court realm, and merely capturing him does not reward any merit. Given the increasing difficulty of accumulating merit, this is a significant loss. Jian Ijian laughs awkwardly. I really can't be blamed for today's events. If anyone, you should blame your 7th disciple, Siwu Ya. He's behind this series of events. Lu Zhou speaks calmly. All I know is that you're the one who arranged this meeting with me. Jian Ijian inwardly flinches. All right, I've been outsmarted. However, I do have something that might make you feel a bit better. He then approaches Flowers and Moon Journey. Flowers and Moon Journey, I had originally planned to take you out of the palace and restore your freedom, but now, let me give you a clear path. Join Evil Sky Pavilion. Ming Shireen dismissively says, no offense, but with her skills, she could maybe do menial tasks in Evil Sky Pavilion. Even Zhou Jifeng is stronger than her. Hearing this, Flowers and Moon Journey instantly feels challenged. She has been practicing in Luo sect since she was young, disliking swordsmanship, knife techniques, and fist fighting, but fell in love with archery. Her dedication turned her into the god archer of Luo sect. After leaving Luo sect, she joined the palace, serving till now and gradually building a reputation, becoming one of the 3 great archers of Divine Capital. However, due to her young age and lack of experience in battle, she was ranked 3rd. Menial tasks? I won't accept that. Provoked by these words, Flowers and Moon Journey's competitive spirit flares. So what if you don't accept? Wanna have a spar with me? Come on, I don't discriminate between men and women. Just don't cry if you get beaten. Ming Shireen waves his separation hook and taunts her. Seeing this, Flowers and Moon Journey steps back in fear. Once bitten, twice shy. She has already experienced this guy's methods. Jian Aijian then tries to smooth things over. Don't underestimate her. Flowers and Moon Journey has great talent in archery. It's just a pity she can't see people for who they truly are. If you want to join Evil Sky Pavilion, show them what you've got. Upon hearing this, Flowers and Moon Journey immediately refuses. I will not join Evil Sky Pavilion. I would rather return to the palace and be punished than join the path of demons. After hearing this, Jian Aijian sighs deeply. Believe me, the intrigues within the palace are far more complicated than those outside. Moreover, Jade Consort's witchcraft has been lifted, and Molly is a dangerous person. Do you plan to return to Luo sect? Flowers and Moon Journey looks at him with complicated eyes, feeling as though he knows everything. Who exactly are you? Who I am doesn't matter. Jian Aijian answers mysteriously. Before he could finish, Ming Shireen kicks over. Quit babbling. It's just a princely status. Get to the point and stop dawdling. Jian Aijian touches his behind. I am a prince, after all. Show some respect. Alright, I'll handle it. Flowers and Moon Journey widens her eyes in disbelief. You're a prince. Keep it down. Low profile. Jian Aijian gives an awkward smile, then pulls her aside to whisper a few words. After listening, Flowers and Moon Journey nods and then approaches Lu Zhou with a respectful bow. Junior Flowers and Moon Journey wishes to join Evil Sky Pavilion and seeks the old senior's protection. Lu Zhou doesn't look at her, but speaks calmly. You are not yet qualified. Flowers and Moon Journey realizes she needs to do something, so she raises her arm. In a forceful energy-formed bow, an arrow materializes in her palm, with an energy arrow appearing between her left index and middle finger, shooting off and accurately hitting a bird outside at a diagonally piercing angle. This is the first time anyone has seen the ability to condense force into a weapon with bare hands. However, Lu Zhou still shakes his head. Too weak. Feeling somewhat unconvinced, Flowers and Moon Journey requests, please lend me a weapon to use. After saying this, she picks up the azure fall bow handed to her by Lu Zhou and goes to the edge of Skylark Tower. With the bow in hand, her eyes are determined, her demeanor composed, and her confidence restored. This time, she uses her right hand to draw the string, condensing energy into an even sharper, finer, clearer forceful energy mounted on the azure fall bow. As a god archer, one must not only have precise archery skills, but also excellent vision. Wherever the eye sees, is the target. With the release of her hand gesture, a dozen arrows are fired simultaneously. All hit the target. Jian Aijian can't help but applaud. Good, very good shooting. Disciples look at him as if he's a fool. Lu Zhou casually takes back the azure fall bow and speaks calmly. True archery is honed on the battlefield. You have talent, but lack the edge. Wanting to join Evil Sky Pavilion, you're still far off. After saying this, he looks towards Jian Aijian. Considering you've retrieved an azure fall fragment, I won't hold this against you. Don't forget our agreement. Then, he leaps off Skylark Tower, with Whitezerd coming to carry him, and little Yuaner understandingly jumps onto Whitezerd's back as well. Watching the two of them leave, Ming Shireen and Duan Mushing shake their heads helplessly. Looks like we have to fly ourselves again. So tired at heart. Flowers and Moon Journey is stunned, unsure of what to do next. Jian Aijian pulls her, signaling to hurry and follow. You have nowhere else to go. Remember what I said. The palace can't accommodate you. Luo sect can't accommodate you. And the famous righteous sects of the world can't accommodate you. Only Evil Sky Pavilion can. Flowers and Moon Journey nods in agreement, ready to chase after them immediately. However, Ming Shireen glances back at her. Our master already said, you're not yet qualified to join Evil Sky Pavilion. Flowers and Moon Journey gathers her courage to reply, I will prove that I am. Meanwhile, Whitezerd is very fast, leaving Ming Shireen and the others behind in the blink of an eye. Passing a mountain forest, the sharp-eyed little Yuaner points down. Master, what's that? Isn't that the flying chariot that delivered gifts to me on Skylark Tower? Could the seventh brother be there too? Recalling the events of the past few days, Lu Zhou bellows angrily, wicked disciple. Run. Thinking of running? Thunderous energy. Target, flying chariot. Lu Zhou immediately tears a talisman, and in the next second, a vortex appears in midair, from which a thick bolt of lightning strikes directly onto the flying chariot. With a loud boom, the flying chariot is torn apart, scattering into pieces from the sky. Flowers and Moon Journey, following from a distance, stands frozen in place at this scene. She thought she could understand Lu Zhou's methods of capturing the Thief Yun San, given her limited experience. distance, but this display of thunderous energy, capable of startling the heavens and moving spirits, especially from such a distance, made her own multiple arrow shots seem rather petty. Ming Shireen and Duan Mushing enjoy the spectacle from the side. When our master gets angry, who can withstand it? If the seventh disciple was on the flying chariot, he probably couldn't escape. Old Seventh really played himself this time. As the flying chariot falls, some high-level cultivators panic and flee in all directions. Lu Zhou's angry voice echoes around. Wicked disciple, show yourself immediately. This trip to Skylark Tower may not have earned any merit points, but capturing Old Seventh would make it worthwhile. Seeing his figure, the fleeing cultivators are terrified. The cult leader has repeatedly warned to stay away from Ji Tiandao and not to harbor any thoughts of resistance. This has almost become an iron law within the Dark Net cult. Their only thought now is to flee for their lives. Lower-level cultivators can only emit simple forceful energy shields to fall, while those above the Brahma Sea realm can descend slowly by controlling their flight. Lu Zhou's gaze sweeps over the cultivators, none of whom are above the Divine Court realm. Old Seventh Si Wuya, having obtained the Peacock Feather and completed the Great Compassion Ode, must have already entered the nascent Divinity Tribulation realm. Otherwise, it would be impossible for someone of merely Divine Court realm to assume the position of cult leader. Old Seventh's absence means Si Wuya is not among them. Little Yuaner. Okay, after Little Yuaner beats up the group of cultivators, she uses the Brahma Heaven Silk to tie them up together. Master, should I keep beating them until they disclose the whereabouts of the seventh brother? Lu Zhou, waving his hand, approaches the cultivators. I will ask all the questions once, and if a single answer is wrong, you will bear the consequences. The group of cultivators shivers, facing the first great demon of the world, who is also the cult leader's master. Lu Zhou asks, where is Siwuya now? Old Senior, we are just following orders. The cult leader has always been elusive, and we really don't know. Then why are you hiding here? The cult leader ordered us to observe the situation after delivering the gifts to Mr. Ninth. So, it seems the affair with Yunsan was orchestrated by Siwuya. What exactly is his true intention? As Lu Zhou ponders, Ming Shireen approaches with a salute. Master, Old Seventh has gone too far this time, daring to set up a scheme behind Evil Sky Pavilion's back. I am willing to stay behind to track down Old Seventh and vow to capture him. Lu Zhou shakes his head after listening. You're probably not a match for Old Seventh. It's not just about cultivation. In terms of cunning, Ming Shireen only plays with small tricks. Hearing this, Ming Shireen's face shows disagreement. Who's stronger isn't certain yet. Then, Duan Mushing walks over and pats his shoulder. Fourth junior brother has improved a lot recently. In our sparring sessions, I've noticed he's become much more resilient than before. Ming Shireen raises an eyebrow. Why does that sound a bit odd? Lu Zhou ignores them and turns to the tied-up Dark Net disciples. Go back and tell your cult leader, if he knows he's wrong, he should come in person. Seeing his master about to leave, Ming Shireen quickly suggests. Disciple thinks, why not tie them all up on the mountain and kill one every day? If Old Seventh values friendship and righteousness, maybe he'll show up. Lu Zhou doesn't bother to respond. If things were that simple, he would have already disciplined all his disciples by now. Why would it have dragged until now? The Dark Net disciples, frightened by Ming Shireen's threat, beg for mercy. Please spare our lives. We're just paid to do a job. We've never even seen the cult leader's face. Please, Old Senior, spare us. My wife, whom I haven't seen in 3 years, is pregnant, and I'm going to be a father. Duan Mushing is puzzled. Paid to do a job? Ming Shireen nods and explains. The real Dark Net isn't made up of specific gang members, but is spread across every set, every corner. They could be fishermen, cooks, or even high-ranking officials in the palace. Since its establishment, Dark Net has offended many. How could they possibly gather all their followers in one place, making it easy for them to be caught all at once? Little Yuaner's eyes light up. The seventh brother is so smart. No, so cunning. After glancing at Ming Shireen, Lu Zhou jumps onto Whitesword's back. Since that's the case, this matter is handed over to you. After speaking, he continues flying towards the direction of Anyang with Little Yuaner and Duan Mushing. Ming Shireen stands still, looking frustrated, and slaps himself. That's for talking too much. The surviving cultivators curiously look at him. Slapping himself? That's harsh. Well, he's a demon after all. Some bad habits are understandable. After slapping himself, he turns to the group of Dark Net disciples. I'm in a bad mood, so you'll have to bear the brunt of it. Then he immediately uses vines to wrap them up. The Aokigahara grows wildly, tossing and turning, as screams echo throughout the mountain. Flowers and Moon Journey watches the scene from a distance, feeling uneasy and dares not get closer. Was the third prince deceiving me? Didn't he say that the demons of Evil Sky Pavilion aren't that terrible? Ming Shireen's temper is unpredictable, and he even seems a bit out of control. She thinks for a moment, looking at the departing Duan Mushing. Still, Mr. 3 seems the most normal. Meanwhile, at the Mount Tranquility Underworld sect headquarters, Yu Zhenghai says to Siwuya in the main hall, Seventh junior brother, aren't you afraid that our master will be angry with you for this? Siwuya smiles slightly. Big brother, the chaos in Anyang City has nothing to do with me. I just passed along a message. If master is angry, then let him be angry. Yu Zhenghai stands up from his seat. Junior brother, I've always always been curious, what kind of sonic power could instantly repel the 4 great protectors? If even Big Brother doesn't know, then I know even less. However, our master has lived for 1,000 years. It's normal for him to have some life-saving measures. Even the top 10 masters couldn't do much against him in their consecutive attacks. That makes sense. Hearing that the cloud-piercing flying chariot appeared again at Tangzi Town and defeated the 10 sorcerers' ancestors' great formation, in your opinion, what does master intend by this? Yu Zhenghai laughs. According to me, at his age, he should stay in Evil Sky Pavilion, conserve his strength, and live comfortably in his later years. Being so high-profile doesn't seem rational. Siwuya nods. Indeed, dark net is spread across the world, but the only place without my people is Evil Sky Pavilion. It's hard to judge without insiders in Evil Sky Pavilion. Big Brother need not worry. Master's involvement in the Anyang City chaos was probably unintentional. His real target is still Yunsan. Yu Zhenghai asks in surprise, even you think I would take action against Wei Zhuoyan, junior brother Wuya? Siwuya laughs. Big Brother, you misunderstand. Analyzing various factors, you indeed have the most motive to act against Wei Zhuoyan. With Wei Zhuoyan's death, even if the Great Flame isn't in chaos, the royal family will surely face a power struggle. As long as the emperor is still alive, these 5 princes won't be able to cause much trouble. Big Brother has always been prudent and would never make such a low-level mistake. Yu Zhenghai laughs in response. Ha ha ha, I quite agree with your words. Siwuya says, Big Brother flatters me. Junior brother, for the so-called Azure Fall fragment, Master did not hesitate to leave Evil Sky Pavilion. Do you know what is so special about this item? Siwuya shakes his head. The Azure Fall fragment can easily cut through forceful energy shields and can also serve as the best material for forging heavenly-grade weapons. Besides that, there's nothing special about it. It's clear that this is unreasonable. If there's nothing special about it, why would Evil Sky Pavilion go through so much trouble to find the Azure Fall fragment? Unfortunately, they cannot get information from Evil Sky Pavilion and can only speculate wildly. Soon, Hua Chongyan, the chief of the Azure Dragon Hall, enters the Underworld Sect's main hall. Leader, the situation in Anyang has been clarified. The one impersonating the Underworld Sect was the leader of the Clarity Sect, Machi. Hearing this news, smiles appear on their lips, seemingly not surprised. Siwuya gives a salute. Congratulations, Big Brother. This is a godsend opportunity. Yu Zhenghai, with a wave of his hand, commands firmly, send the order. Take down Clarity Sect within a month. Hua Chongyan quickly salutes. As ordered, we will not fail the leader's expectations and will surely take down Clarity Sect within a month. The leader of Clarity Sect, Machi, has been seriously injured, and the Clarity Sect Master Pan Lydian is missing, leaving only a 7 Leaves Master Yuhongi. With the capabilities of the 4 great protectors, taking down Clarity Sect is just a matter of time. Yu Zhenghai has been waiting for such a great opportunity. According to the previous strength of the Underworld Sect, they could also forcibly take down Clarity Sect, but the cost would be too high. However, Yu Zhenghai is not a reckless person. No one knows where Pan Lydian is. Rumor has it that Pan Lydian and Fan Showon of the Black Cavalry belong to the same era and left Clarity Sect for unknown reasons to wander around. Some have seen Pan Lydian in the Misty Sea, while others have spotted him heading towards the northern frontier. Without a doubt, Pan Lydian is the oldest master of Clarity Sect. Throughout his adventures, Yu Zhenghai has always wished for a worthy opponent, like his second junior brother Yu Shangrong, and he hopes Pan Lydian could be such an opponent. Of course, excluding their master. Meanwhile, after allowing little Yuaner to say goodbye to the Qi family, Lu Zhou directly returned to Evil Sky Pavilion. In the affair of Anyang, he had exhausted all the extraordinary powers of the heavenly writing, so he chose to go into seclusion to thoroughly comprehend heavenly writing. He currently has 14,170 merit points left. If it weren't for Ming Shireen and Duan Mushing killing 4 imposters, this trip would have likely been more costly. Considering the expense of using the Thunderous Energy card to crush the flying chariot, having this much left is still acceptable. Time to stock up on some cards. In case the prices go up again after comprehending heavenly writing, it would be a huge loss. Lu Zhou opens the system interface and buys 3 Lethal Strike cards, spending 2,400 points. As expected, the price of Lethal Strike has risen to 1,000 points each. In other words, killing cultivators below the 4 leaves level is no longer profitable. Impenetrable, which is seldom used, has not increased in price for the time being. Lu Zhou buys 3 cage binding cards, and after the purchase, the original price of 500 rose to 600. Strangely, the price increases seem to follow no pattern. He also replenished 3 vitality healing cards. After stocking up, Lu Zhou checks his remaining merit points, which are now 6,970. With this amount, dreaming of purchasing the 8 methods unobstructed, valued at 20,000 points, seems far-fetched. Comforting, with this batch of cards, at least in the short term, there's no need to worry about any threats, nor about the fluctuating prices. He then closes the system interface and enters a state of contemplating the heavenly writing. 2 days later, at the foot of Golden Court Mountain, a ragged old beggar arrives. He staggers to a spot dozens of meters away from the barrier, then takes a swig from the wine gourd at his waist and belches loudly. "Miss, why are you here?" Hearing the question, Flowers and Moon Journey answers emotionlessly, "Old man, this is not a place for begging. This is Evil Sky Pavilion. If you value your life, leave now." The old beggar seems unbothered. "This is Evil Sky Pavilion? Why aren't you afraid?" Flowers and Moon Journey looks at the ground. "Why should I be afraid? Sooner or later, I will join Evil Sky Pavilion anyway." Hearing this, the old beggar chuckles. "Everyone in the world fears Evil Sky Pavilion and would do anything to stay away, yet you're actually eager to join." Flowers and Moon Journey's expression darkens slightly. "There's no place for me in the Great Flame World." She quickly shakes her head. "Why am I telling so much to a beggar? You better leave quickly. If someone from the mountain comes down and kills you, don't blame me." The old beggar, appearing indifferent, sits down beside her. "Miss, you seem to have a kind face. Let an old man give you a piece of advice. You're not suited for Evil Sky Pavilion." Flowers and Moon Journey moves away from his alcohol breath. "What does my joining Evil Sky Pavilion have to do with you? Mind your own business." The old beggar smiles. "Miss, talk to an old man." "Talk about what? Why do you want to join Evil Sky Pavilion?" Flowers and Moon Journey shakes her head helplessly again. "I have nowhere else to go." This makes the old beggar think of himself. Does he have anywhere to go? No, he can only wander the world, using the sky as his blanket and the earth as his bed, begging for a living. But she is a young girl. How could she, like this old man, shamelessly wander the world, drifting aimlessly like a rootless weed? He looks up at Evil Sky Pavilion, then instinctively grabs his wine gourd to take a swig, only to find that the gourd is empty. The old beggar shows a look of disappointment. Without wine, life loses its color, becoming dull. On Golden Court Mountain, he wonders if there might be any good wine. "I'll go see if they might kindly offer me a sip of wine." With that, he strides towards the barrier of Golden Court Mountain. Flowers and Moon Journey watches this scene in shock. Could it be that he can pass through the barrier of Golden Court Mountain? As she ponders, the old beggar reaches the edge of the barrier and then, with a clang, he is bounced off by the barrier's force, falling to the ground on his knees, then screaming in pain as he clutches his nose and starts rolling on the ground. Flowers and Moon Journey shakes her head at the sight, asking for trouble. Why bother? At that moment, a female cultivator walks out through the barrier. She doesn't pay attention to the old beggar, but looks towards Flowers and Moon Journey. "Mr. 3 said that the old senior is in seclusion and will not meet you. You should leave." Flowers and Moon Journey stands up and bows slightly to her. "Please relay a message for me. Tell them that Flowers and Moon Journey will not leave until I join Evil Sky Pavilion. Why bother? Please help me." Seeing her persistence, the female cultivator sighs and walks back. The old beggar then holds up his wine gourd and calls out to her. "Wait." The old man would like to beg for a sip of wine. Before the female cultivator can reply, red Brahma heaven silk suddenly sweeps across the sky, and little Yuana appears in the air, pointing at the old beggar. "No wine. Get lost." Seeing her angry demeanor, the old beggar is a bit stunned. "What a fierce girl. And you, stop sticking around. Master said he won't take you, so he won't." Flowers and Moon Journey, hearing little Yuana's words, answers with determination, "I am willing to wait." "Then keep waiting. We're leaving." After saying this, little Yuana and the female cultivator return to Evil Sky Pavilion. The old beggar touches his swollen nose and decides to lie down, yawning. The old man is tired. "I'll sleep before I go." In the blink of an eye, another 3 days have passed. Inside Evil Sky Pavilion, Lu Zhou stretches his body, feeling refreshed. He can clearly sense the return of the extraordinary power of heavenly writing. The trip to Anyang was not in vain. At the very least, it helped him understand the basics of heavenly writing. Contemplation is akin to sensing primal energy, and the extraordinary power obtained is like incorporating primal energy, condensing it into forceful energy. However, this extraordinary power is clearly stronger than forceful energy. Recalling the omnipotent voice he unleashed in Anyang, Lu Zhou nods in satisfaction. The only downside is that after such a long period of contemplation, it was only enough for one release, which is somewhat regrettable. He then checks the system panel, seeing that he has accumulated 89 points of luck. This amount is sufficient. He continues to draw, increasing his luck by +1 until the luck points reach 99. Lu Zhou takes a deep breath to calm himself before drawing one last time. Ding! This draw costs 50 merit points with 100 luck points. He receives 5 enhanced cage binding, 3 enhanced vitality healing, and 5 reversal cards. The enhanced cage binding, with a 100% trigger probability, is not available for purchase. The enhanced vitality healing recovers 60% health and is also not available for purchase. 100 points of luck, equivalent to 5,000 merit points, doesn't seem to make much profit, barely breaking even, but these 2 types of enhanced item cards are still okay since they can't be bought. The only regret is not drawing anything special in this round. He'll draw again in the future. As Lu Zhou is pondering, the voice of Zhao Yu rings from outside. "Master, Yun San has returned with the Azure Fall fragment and is waiting in the main hall." Lu Zhou stands up and inquires about her injuries. Zhao Yu replies, "I've been quietly recuperating and healing in Evil Sky Pavilion during this time and have fully recovered. I will diligently practice to step into the nascent divinity tribulation realm as soon as possible." Lu Zhou nods nods and walks towards the main hall, hands behind his back. Among his 9 disciples, from the start, only Zhao Yu and Zhu Honghong have been stuck in the divine court realm without progress. Zhu Honghong is because he practiced an incomplete version of the 9 tribulations thunderous energy, unable to advance. Zhao Yu, however, practices the complete clear jade technique, and her talent is not lacking. Given time, entering the nascent divinity tribulation realm should not be a problem. Upon entering the main hall, Lu Zhou sees that many disciples are already waiting inside. Yun San is kneeling on the ground respectfully. His right hand is missing. Yun San says, "I have successfully retrieved the Azure Fall fragment, as ordered." With that, he hands over a brocade box. Ding! Azure Fall fragment recovered. 100 merit points awarded. Lu Zhou checks the mission tab and notices that although all 8 pieces of the Azure Fall fragment are accounted for, the merit points for completing the mission aren't awarded. He recalls the Azure Fall bow, realizing it needs to be refined and dismantled to reobtain the Azure Fall fragment. Duan Mushing makes a throat-slitting gesture. "Master, Yun San has brought back the fragment. Should we?" Seeing his gesture, Yun San, terrified to the point of nearly wetting himself, begs for mercy. "Old senior, spare my life. I have brought back the fragment. Please keep your promise." Lu Zhou, with a calm expression, asks, "What is the current situation in Clarity Sect?" Yun San stops and honestly replies, "When I went there, Clarity Sect was in chaos, with the elders fighting for power. I took advantage of the chaos to infiltrate Clarity Sect and retrieve the fragment." Ming Shirin, curious, asks, "Chaos?" Yun San quickly explains, "I heard that the sect leader of Clarity Sect was injured and has been in seclusion." Without a leader, was the Clarity Sect Master Yuhani not there? 3 days ago, Hua Chongyan, the chief of the Azure Dragon Hall of the Underworld Sect, and Bai Yuqing of the White Tiger Hall attacked Clarity Sect. Yuhani was severely injured by Hua Chongyang and Bai Yuqing. Everyone is startled by this news. Who would have expected the Underworld Sect to strike against Clarity Sect at this time? Given Underworld Sect's strength, annihilating Clarity Sect wouldn't be difficult, but the issue lies with the many forces in the world, especially the 10 major orthodox sects, which are almost like grasshoppers on a string. Attacking Clarity Sect would be akin to moving against all 10 orthodox sects. Does Underworld Sect possess the strength to withstand a siege from the other 9 orthodox sects? After pondering, Lu Zhou continues to inquire, what is Yu Xinghai's purpose in attacking Clarity Sect? Yun San says he doesn't know. "I'm just a petty thief. How would I know such things?" Lu Zhou falls into thought once more. Over the years, Underworld Sect has been expanding its influence, and many smaller demonic forces have essentially been annexed by Underworld Sect. The demon-slaying sect, which stood out too much, was eliminated by Evil Sky Pavilion. Now, only Duan Xing struggles on his own, posing no significant threat. This has made Underworld Sect even stronger. Yun San, touching his amputated arm and showing a pained expression, pleads, "I've done my best in this matter. I hope the old senior will spare my life. Please be merciful." Lu Zhou looks at him indifferently. With Yun San's arm gone, his forte has been cut off, and he can no longer steal. This can be considered a punishment for him. Thinking this, he waves his hand. "Take care of yourself." Yun San, as if granted amnesty, is overjoyed. "Thank you, Pavilion Lord." Zhou Jifeng then leads him away from Evil Sky Pavilion. The main hall returns to calmness, and after a while, Hua Wudao slowly walks in. He salutes Lu Zhou. "Greetings, Pavilion Lord. I have a request to make." The woman kneeling outside the mountain is named Flowers and Moon Journey. "I have had several encounters with her. She is skilled in archery and possesses remarkable talent. If she could join us on the mountain, it would only benefit Evil Sky Pavilion." Everyone looks at him in surprise upon hearing this. Lu Zhou speaks calmly. "Elder Hua, you came from Cloud Sect and barely joined Evil Sky Pavilion. Cloud, Sky, and Luo Sect have always been on good terms. Aren't you afraid she's also jumping into the fire pit?" Hua Wudao shakes his head and sighs. "She has nowhere else to go." Upon hearing this, Duan Mushing becomes furious. "Elder Hua, I disagree with what you said. What do you mean by nowhere else to go? If there's nowhere else to go, they should come to Evil Sky Pavilion. What do you think this place is? A dumping ground?" Hua Wudao's face turns red. "That's not what I meant." "Then what do you mean? You come from Cloud Sect and you weren't sincere when you joined Evil Sky Pavilion. Do you intend to form cliques and stir up internal strife here?" Duan Mushing, "Don't insult me. I, Hua Wudao, am not so shameless." As the two seem ready to argue, Lu Zhou immediately interrupts with a cold huff. "Enough. Flowers and Moon Journey indeed is a rare talent, but if she can't even endure this, how is she qualified to join Evil Sky Pavilion?" Hua Wudao suddenly realizes, "I, Hua Wudao, am willing to guarantee with my life that if one day Flowers and Moon Journey harbors any ill intentions, I will personally deal with her." Hua Wudao's willingness to stake his life as a guarantee surprises everyone. He indeed comes from Cloud Sect, but Flowers and Moon Journey is from Luo Sect. Yun Tian Luo initially founded the sect, which gradually split into Cloud Sect, Sky Sect, and Luo Sect, 3 major forces, harboring some grievances among them. It's understandable to come from the same lineage and possibly speak up for each other, but to stake one's life for someone known only through a few encounters is indeed strange. "Elder Hua, what exactly is your relationship with Flowers and Moon Journey?" Hua Wudao bows. "I have no relation with her. I implore the Pavilion Lord to see clearly. Lu Zhou speaks indifferently. Elder Hua, I don't wish to inquire about your relationship with her. If Flowers and Moon Journey wishes to join Evil Sky Pavilion, she may. I will give her a chance. Take down any of the righteous sects that participated in the siege of Golden Court Mountain, any cultivator with 3 leaves or more, and she can join Evil Sky Pavilion. Hua Wudao is taken aback, his expression turning unpleasant. Seeing this, Duan Mushing snorts. I knew you had ulterior motives. If she can't even do this, then stop talking about joining Evil Sky Pavilion. Everyone understands the master's meaning. Although her talent is remarkable and she could become a powerful asset for Evil Sky Pavilion, what use is she if she can't even kill an enemy? Evil Sky Pavilion doesn't support idlers, much less useless people. Hua Wudao naturally understands this too. If one joins Evil Sky Pavilion, then they must have this resolve. Lu Zhou waves his hand, signaling him to leave, then inquires about the 8th disciple's whereabouts. Duan Mushing replies that he is repairing the pavilion. I'll call him over right now. Soon, Zhu Honghong enters Evil Sky Pavilion. Kneeling with devotion, disciple greets Master. May Master enjoy endless fortune and longevity. Such shamelessness and flattery is not common. Lu Zhou's gaze falls on him. Are you accustomed to staying in Evil Sky Pavilion? Zhu Honghong hastily answers. Master, this is my home. Of course, I'm accustomed. Truly, there's no place more comfortable than Evil Sky Pavilion. Every word I say is true. I'm very comfortable here. I dare not lie at all. How do you get along with everyone? The 3rd and 4th senior brothers take good care of me, and the 5th senior sister chats with me when she's free. And the junior sister? He swallows. The junior sister is gentle and lovely. Everyone treats me like family. Lu Zhou asks again, how do you get along with Old 7th? Zhu Honghong responds, very well, exceptionally well. Old 7th has always taken good care of me. Old 7th, realizing what he just said, Zhu Honghong is suddenly terrified. Lu Zhou changes the subject, holding the nameless sword with a chilling gaze. Then tell me, how did Old 7th come to know of your master's whereabouts? Zhu Honghong hurriedly defends himself. Old 7th's informants are spread across every corner of Great Flame. Of course, he would know. Lu Zhou gives him a meaningful look. Then, who do you think could be Old 7th's informant in Evil Sky Pavilion? This question clarifies everything. Without someone passing on information, how could he be so well informed? So, it was you, 8th junior brother. Duan Mushing grabs him and starts beating him up. Zhu Honghong screams and begs for mercy. Master, please let me explain. Senior brother, please, let go. Lu Zhou speaks emotionlessly. Let's hear your explanation. Zhu Honghong scrambles to kneel properly in front of Lu Zhou. Brother Wuya swore he wouldn't do anything that harms Evil Sky Pavilion. He even said he wanted to help. That's why I carelessly revealed Master's whereabouts. Duan Mushing, furious, kicks him. You believed him just like that? Zhu Honghong responds with a pitiful look. Master, to be honest, when I was with the Tiger Ridge gang, it was always 7th senior brother who looked after me. 7th senior brother likes to scheme, but he really hasn't harmed our fellow disciples. Both the 1st senior brother and 2nd senior brother admire him. After speaking, Zhu Honghong doesn't dare to breathe heavily, just bowing his head, trembling inside. This could mean expulsion at best, or being crippled at worst. Lu Zhou understands that he's telling the truth. Except for Yi Tianqin, who colluded with orthodox cultivators, the others indeed haven't done anything harmful to Evil Sky Pavilion. In the cultivation world, these traitors are still regarded as part of Evil Sky Pavilion, without distinction. However, although there is no death penalty, living punishment cannot be avoided. Such traitors must be strictly disciplined. Take him to the Reflection Cave, subject him to 50 cane strikes daily, and restrict his cultivation. Duan Mushing salutes. As you command, Master. Zhu Honghong sighs in relief. Thank you, Master, for your leniency. Ding. Strictly disciplining Zhu Honghong awards 200 merit points. He is then taken away from the main hall by Duan Mushing. Old 8, I didn't hurt you too badly just now, did I? It's okay. Thank you, 3rd senior brother, for holding back. That's good. I won't hold back next time. Lu Zhou slowly stands up, just about to study the Azure Fall fragment, when suddenly little Yuana runs in from outside. Master, there's an old beggar outside who refuses to leave. Flowers and Moon Journey has left, but he insists on begging for wine. Zhao Yu, puzzled, responds, little junior sister, Golden Court Mountain is not a place for just anyone to wander into. Throw him out. Little Yuana answers helplessly. I did throw him out, but he walked back in on his own. He walked in on his own. Little Yuana nods earnestly. I found it strange, so I brought him up to see Master. The barrier of Golden Court Mountain, composed of a special formation, is incomparable even to the formations of the 10 major orthodox sects. That an old beggar could walk in is no small matter. Lu Zhou immediately heads outside and indeed sees an old beggar lying on the bluestone floor, muttering, the old man wants to drink. Lu Zhou stops, his gaze falling on the old beggar. Name, Panlitian. Race, human. Cultivation, nullified. After reading, he falls into deep thought. When Yun San went to Clarity Sect, he happened upon Underworld Sect's attack, with the sect leader Machi and the master Yuhangi severely injured. It won't be long before Clarity Sect may disappear from this world. He had been wondering where Panlitian was. The most mysterious master of Clarity Sect, a powerhouse from the same era as Fan Xiuwen, disappeared overnight without a trace. He did not expect expect him to appear at Evil Sky Pavilion. The old beggar lazily urges, "Hurry up." The old man has waited a long time for the wine. Little Yuaner, annoyed, glares at him. "Old thing, believe it or not, I'll throw you out right now." But then, Lu Zhou gives an order, "Bring the wine." Although somewhat surprised, they still bring the wine as ordered. Pan Litian's nose is as sensitive as a dog's. He smells the aroma of the wine as the jar gets close. He sits up energetically and looks up at Lu Zhou. "Are you the master of Evil Sky Pavilion?" Lu Zhou doesn't answer his question, but instead calmly says, "The wine of Evil Sky Pavilion, aged for 100 years. Pan Litian's eyes light up. He leans in to take a sniff. "Good wine. Truly good wine." Then, he grabs the wine jar and starts guzzling it down without hesitation. Lu Zhou observes him for a while. "Knowing this is Evil Sky Pavilion, you still dared to barge in?" Pan Litian lies down contentedly. "This old man's life is worthless. I don't care." Lu Zhou doesn't expose him, but asks with interest, "With no cultivation, how did you avoid the barrier?" Pan Litian feigns ignorance. This old man is confused. "Just a common beggar. What do I know about barriers?" Lu Zhou shakes his head and sighs. "The top master of Clarity Sect, reduced to this state. I'm not sure if I should be happy." Unexpectedly, a ragged old beggar turns out to be Clarity Sect's top master. Hearing Lu Zhou reveal the beggar's identity, Xiao Yu and Little Yuaner both show disbelief. Pan Litian remains unfazed. "This old man doesn't understand what you're talking about. I just want to drink good wine and have a good sleep." Lu Zhou gives him a profound look. "You really won't admit it?" Pan Litian remains silent for a while, then shakes his head. "This old man is just a beggar. Really don't know what you're talking about." Little Yuaner, raising her little fists, comes to his side. "Master, if you won't admit it, I can beat him." Lu Zhou smiles and stops her. "Whether you admit it or not doesn't matter. What I can tell you is that Clarity Sect is now fraught with crisis and will soon disappear from this world forever." When their gazes meet, Pan Litian pauses, then after a long silence, he takes a big swig from the wine jar. "This old man just wants to drink. Whether Clarity Sect disappears or not has nothing to do with me." Lu Zhou continues, "Machi is severely injured, Yuhangi is severely injured, and Clarity Sect is now in chaos. Do you really not care at all?" Pan Litian answers decisively, "I don't care." Lu Zhou frowns upon hearing this response. Abandoning his fellow sect members so carelessly doesn't seem like something the Pan Litian of old would do. Knowing his identity might be exposed, yet still willing to come to Evil Sky Pavilion, what exactly is his purpose? Clearly, Pan Litian is not afraid of death. As he said himself, the current Pan Litian is but a worthless life. Looking at him, Lu Zhou waves his hand. "Keep an eye on him." After giving the order, he leaves. Little Yuaner follows up. "Master, is that old beggar really that Pan Litian?" Lu Zhou waves his hand. "He says he isn't, so let's assume he isn't." Little Yuaner, confused, responds, "So, is he or isn't he? Am I really as dumb as my brother says?" Returning to the secret room, Lu Zhou sits cross-legged, taking out the Azure Fall fragment and the Azure Fall bow. To trigger the system's mission, he needs to refine and dismantle the Azure Fall bow. He also has 2 refining talismans, which can reset weapons to their unowned state. "Let's try." Lu Zhou casually uses a refining talisman, and with a swish, the talisman ignites in flames, enveloping the Azure Fall bow in crimson fire. The intense heat from the special flames forces Lu Zhou to mobilize some primal energy to form a forceful energy barrier in front. Despite this, the heat is only reduced by half, and a small amount of warmth still penetrates through the forceful energy wall. About an hour passes quickly, and the inferior materials can't withstand the high temperature, being incinerated by the fire's energy, dropping melt after melt. As the last drop falls, the system's notification sound reaches his ears. "Ding! Azure Fall Fragment *3 recovered. 300 merit points awarded." "Ding! Azure Fall Fragment collection mission completed. 1000 merit points awarded. Would you like to synthesize the Azure Fall Fragment?" Lu Zhou nods in satisfaction. When Ji Tiandao first obtained the Azure Fall Fragment, he didn't value it much due to its low grade. Now, it seems Ji Tiandao may have overlooked something valuable. Synthesize. As the command is given, the 8 Azure Fall fragments emit a glow, slowly merging together. "Ding! Weapon obtained. Azure Fall Blade." "Ding! Heavenly Writing Scroll obtained." Lu Zhou's gaze falls on the Azure Fall Blade. This dagger is slightly larger than the Azure Fall fragments and also a bit larger than a normal dagger. Overall, it still appears small and exquisite. Unfortunately, the system does not indicate who the destined owner of this dagger might be. The current weapons include Nameless, Life-Severing Blade, and Tear-Stained Box. Apart from Nameless, the rest of the weapons can be given to the disciples. After all, the stronger the disciples, the stronger their master. Now, only the 5th disciple, Xiao Yu, and the 8th disciple, Zhu Honghong, are without weapons. How should they be allocated? Xiao Yu is a girl, and the Life-Severing Blade is quite large and not very elegant. The Tear-Stained Box, when transformed into a fist, seems even less elegant. At first glance, these 2 weapons seem more suitable for Zhu Honghong. However, Zhu Honghong has just returned to Evil Sky Pavilion, and his character still needs refinement. Before he shows no ill intentions, Lu Zhou does not plan to provide him with weapons. After considering, Xiao Yu is the most suitable for the Azure Fall Blade. However, Xiao Yu's current cultivation has has not reached the nascent divinity tribulation realm and cannot wield a heavenly-grade weapon. After putting away the Azure Fall blade, Lu Zhou's attention turns to the heavenly writing scroll. Could it be related to the 3 scrolls of heavenly writing? Lu Zhou opens the heavenly writing interface and sees that the human scroll of heavenly writing is activated, while the earth and heaven scrolls remain dim. Nodded, he opens the human scroll of heavenly writing, and the first line of golden script that catches his eye is omnipotent voice. The heavenly writing that emerged in his mind during the chaos in Anyang City was this line. So, what is the purpose of the heavenly writing scroll? Lu Zhou remains puzzled, but he doesn't dwell on it further, having never fully understood heavenly writing since he began contemplating it. Then, he sits cross-legged and immerses himself in the contemplation of heavenly writing, even losing track of time. Before he knows it, 7 days have passed. During these days, aside from practicing, little Yuaner has been watching over the old beggar, Pan Lydian. Pan Lydian spends his days in a listless state, squinting his eyes and asking, "Little girl, aren't you tired of staring at me all day?" Little Yuaner, curious, looks at him. "Master said to keep an eye on you. By the way, how did you enter the barrier?" Pan Lydian looks around, sees no one else, and chuckles. "You want to know? What do I appreciate most about you? Frankness, sincerity, and being natural." Little Yuaner beams with joy. "Hee, my brothers say the same about me." Pan Lydian chuckles. "Then could you tell me if there's someone with the surname Pan on Golden Court Mountain?" Little Yuaner answers, "Yes." "Where?" "It's you." Pan Lydian shakes his head speechlessly. "I meant someone else." Little Yuaner thinks for a moment. "You mean Pan Zhong?" "Oh, I hadn't noticed, but you share the surname Pan. He also has it." "Are you his father?" Pan Lydian's face twitches. I don't have the surname Pan. Just asking casually." Little Yuaner inquires, puzzled. "That's strange. Old man Pan, if you're just an ordinary old beggar, aren't you afraid my master will kill you?" Pan Lydian coughs awkwardly. "I've said, I'm not surnamed Pan." "Alright, then tell me, how did you enter the barrier? Even the most intricate net has its gaps." Pan Lydian pauses, then adds, "Little girl, Pan Zhong is dead, isn't he?" Little Yuaner proudly answers, "He's got a strong fate, having encountered my master. If it wasn't for my master granting him the 6 bright technique, he'd probably be dead by now." "That's good. How's he doing on the mountain?" "Don't worry, your son is doing well." Pan Lydian feels a tightness in his chest. "I truly don't have the surname Pan. Moreover, at my age, how could I have a son?" "Girl, pour me some more wine. The 100-year-old brew." Little Yuaner nods. "Alright, for the sake of your grandson, I'll refill it for you." As the two were talking, a huge vortex suddenly formed above Evil Sky Pavilion. Everyone on Golden Court Mountain stopped what they were doing and looked up. The barrier energy around Golden Court Mountain was slowly absorbed by the vortex, like a giant whirlpool in the sea. The female cultivators of Derived Moon Palace, who had already considered themselves disciples of Golden Court Mountain, sprang into action. "Quickly notify Elder Hua, Mr. 3, and Mr. 9. Moments later, everyone gathered in the square. Even Fan Shouwen, who was recuperating from serious injuries, was alerted. He furrowed his brows, pondering if the old demon was planning to absorb the barrier's power to forcibly maintain his cultivation. From his perspective, the primal energy of Golden Court Mountain's barrier was continuously converging towards the vortex above Evil Sky Pavilion, which was located at the pinnacle of the pavilion and was the focal point of Golden Court Mountain's barrier. When setting up formations, some cultivators would hide the focal point in hard-to-find places to prevent others from discovering their weaknesses. Similarly, the focal point is also where the formation is repaired and energy is infused. Golden Court Mountain's terrain is excellent, and the ability to set up such a grand formation, forming a strong barrier, has made the 10 major Orthodox sects hesitate to approach. Unexpectedly, the focal point of the formation would be above Evil Sky Pavilion. But now, energy is being absorbed. What's happening? This could weaken Golden Court Mountain's barrier and reduce its defensive strength. Formations are particularly important for a cultivation sacred land. For instance, the Orthodox sect, despite being weak, has managed to survive because of prime locations like the Green Jade Altar. The individual formations of the Cloud sect's 8 altars also serve as defensive strongholds against external enemies. Fan Shouwen couldn't understand what Lu Zhou was doing. If this continues and the barrier disappears, how will Evil Sky Pavilion withstand another joint attack by the Orthodox sects if they decide to strike again? The vibrations from the vortex grew stronger, and Fan Shouwen decided to check it out. At this stage, Evil Sky Pavilion is his only refuge. If something happens to it, he would have nowhere else to go. Soon, he arrives at the square, where the beggar-dressed Pan Lydian catches his eye. After sizing him up, Fan Shouwen asks with confusion, "Who are you?" Pan Lydian lazily turns his head, startled by Fan Shouwen's features. "Why does this person seem like they used to be very ugly and frightening?" "Just begging for some wine." "Good wine. Would you like a sip?" Fan Shouwen's voice is deep. "You have not yet answered my question." He is not as easily fooled as Little Yuaner. Pan Lydian chuckles. "Who I am doesn't matter. You seem to have sustained serious injuries." Fan Shouwen raises an eyebrow, responding, "That's none of your concern." The old beggar adopts a tone of seniority. "I've traveled far and wide, seen countless people." "Young man, don't be so aggressive. You're calling me a young man?" Fan Shouwen actually bursts into laughter. "A mere junior, blind to the truth. I won't hold it against you. I won't hold it against you either. After exchanging looks, they both turn their gaze back to Evil Sky Pavilion. The vortex above Evil Sky Pavilion continues to gather, leaving the disciples watching nearby puzzled. Duan Mushing asks, Elder Hua, you're well informed. What's going on here? Hearing Duan Mushing's question, Hua Wudao frowns deeply. There's trouble with the focal point of the formation. Since the last disturbance by the Orthodox sect and Heaven Sword sect, Master repaired the focal point with his own strength. There shouldn't be any issues in theory. Little Yuaner seems less worried. Don't worry, even if the formation disperses, those Orthodox sects wouldn't dare to come. Despite saying this, everyone remains anxious. Zhao Yu comments, Master is still in seclusion. We can't go on like this. Duan Mushing feels a headache coming on. If only the fourth was here, he might come up with something. Ming Shirin may only have small tricks, but he's good at coming up with solutions in a pinch. As they discuss, the barrier suddenly vibrates. This means the barrier's energy is being further absorbed by the vortex. We can't continue like this. We must report this to the Pavilion Lord. Hua Wudao leads the way to the secret room. Arriving outside, everyone bows simultaneously. Pavilion Lord, Master. This bow is met with silence from inside the secret chamber. Duan Mushing tries again. Master, still, there is no response. Hua Wudao approaches the secret room's door and calls out with primal energy. Hua Wudao seeks an audience. This primal energy voice transmission should be heard through the stone door if anyone is inside, yet there's no response from the secret room. Could Master not be inside? If he's not in the secret room, where could he be? The southeast, northeast, southwest, and northwest pavilions are cleaned and inspected daily, and there's no reason for Master to sneak around. Hua Wudao calmly says, Don't panic, let me sense around. Cultivators at a certain level can sense the presence of living beings around them, unless the other's cultivation is much higher and they can conceal their aura. However, Hua Wudao is a 7-leaf powerhouse, making him the best candidate for sensing. Moreover, there's no reason for Master to hide his aura. Hua Wudao places his ear against the secret room door, his primal energy flowing. This close-range sensing method should definitively determine if someone is inside. He closes his eyes, his ears twitching as primal energy enters the secret room. Inside it's very quiet and calm, as if no one is there. Suddenly, he steps back 2 steps, eyes wide in shock. Duan Mushing, anxious, asks, Elder Hua, what's the situation? Hua Wudao, looking incredulous, replies, I sensed a strong energy rapidly contracting. From above the secret room, it's forming a funnel shape, continuously converging downwards. The Pavilion Lord might be experiencing deviation. Everyone is alarmed upon hearing this, knowing the seriousness of the situation. Cultivation deviations often occur during attempts to break through in cultivation, leading to serious consequences. Deviation here doesn't refer to demonic cultivation, but to errors in cultivation techniques, which can damage the meridians, energy centers, and energy sea, leading to paralysis or even death. Little Yuaner, in disbelief, retorts, How is that possible? Elder Hua, don't make things up. Hua Wudao earnestly explains, the aura and primal energy fluctuations inside are extremely chaotic. I can feel the barrier's energy through the focal point, converging into the secret room. If you don't believe me, feel it for yourself. Duan Mushing is the first to step forward, sensing with his arm. Indeed, as Hua Wudao described, the primal energy inside is in disarray. This is indeed a sign of cultivation deviation. Zhao Yu becomes anxious. Third senior brother, think of something. We can't go on like this. Hua Wudao sighs deeply. There are 2 options. First, we forcibly break into the secret room and stabilize the chaotic primal energy together, but the backlash from the chaos will be shared among us. The second option is to wait. There's a slim chance for someone experiencing deviation to forcefully reverse their condition and break through in cultivation, but this is very unlikely. Little Yuaner, worried, says, Then what are we waiting for? Break into the secret room. Hua Wudao nods. In that case, we choose the first option. Those below the nascent divinity tribulation realm leave quickly. The female disciples, having lower cultivation levels, turn and leave. Staying would only hinder the efforts. Xiao Yu didn't leave, she stayed behind. They all understood that if something happened to their master, a real disaster would befall Evil Sky Pavilion. Whether from a personal standpoint or for the sake of Evil Sky Pavilion, this was a choice they had to make. Let's begin. Following Hua Wudao's command, Duan Mushing stomps the ground, unleashing robust primal energy throughout his body. Without hesitation, he launches an attack towards the secret room's stone door. Although Hua Wudao is a 7-leaf master, he's not as offensive as Duan Mushing. A loud bang resounds as the stone door trembles, but doesn't break. Duan Mushing isn't surprised. After all, this is where their master has secluded himself for years. If one strike doesn't work, then try again. Again, he clenches his fist, enveloping it with forceful energy, and delivers another massive punch to the stone door. With a boom, the stone door finally shatters. Duan Mushing is the first to rush in, followed closely by Hua Wudao, Zhao Yu, and Little Yuaner. What they see inside the secret room leaves them astonished. Lu Zhou is seen floating in the middle of the room, enveloped in star-like eerie energy, seemingly oblivious to the outside world. His eyes are closed, as if he's in a deep sleep. Above the secret room, there's a square chimney-like vent. Energy energy, like ocean water, converges and enters Lu Zhou's body. Deviation. Primal energy is chaotic. The Pavilion Lord probably intended to use the barrier's power to counter the chaos within his primal energy. I'll interrupt the barrier's energy flow and block the vent. You take the Pavilion Lord out. Remember, keep the protective energy around you. After assigning their tasks, Hua Wudao surrounds himself with an 8 trigram shield and leaps towards the vent. Energy bursts forth, and the wind of protective energy rages and crosses. The inflow of barrier energy suddenly stops. Go now! Hearing Hua Wudao's command, Duan Musheng, Little Yuan, and Zhao Yu immediately unleash their strongest protective forceful energy and fly towards Lu Zhou. However, at that moment, Lu Zhou, who was in a state of contemplation, suddenly opens his eyes. He looks bewildered, seeing his 3 disciples flying towards him, not only daring to barge into the secret room, but also attempting to attack him. How dare you! With a loud shout, from Lu Zhou as the center, a pale blue sea-like energy instantly forms a protective barrier around him, like a blooming blue lotus, pushing everything around it away. The 3 disciples' eyes widen as they feel the formidable power of this energy, instinctively activating their 100 Tribulation Insight avatar. This shout of "how dare you" was not sonic power, and though it couldn't compare to the words "get lost" supernatural powers used in the Qi mansion of Anyang City, it was still imbued with primal energy. Even more terrifying was the instant condensation of a blooming blue lotus around Lu Zhou. Under the blooming blue lotus, the force of the repelled forceful energy around them increased several-fold in an instant. Hua Wudao's heart sinks, realizing Duan Musheng and the others definitely couldn't withstand it, so he immediately leaps to the ground, positioning himself in front of them. Simultaneously, a 7-leaf golden lotus avatar appears around him, and 9 large characters form a circle, protecting them. The next second, the blue lotus fully blooms. The moment it touches the 9 characters, they almost offer no resistance, shattered by the strange energy and dissipated into the air. The 6 union with the Dao seals break apart, and Hua Wudao is sent flying backward. The power of the blue lotus doesn't stop due to the 6 union with the Dao seals blockage, instead rushing towards the 3 disciples even faster. The 3 avatars dissipate simultaneously, and Duan Musheng, Zhao Yu, and Little Yuan are sent flying, crashing out of the stone room. Simultaneously, Lu Zhou also stands up, his face stern. He says, "Such audacity." Duan Musheng, Zhao Yu, and Little Yuan are startled and hurriedly bow to explain, "Master, please calm your anger." The barrier energy of Golden Court Mountain was reversing, and the focal point opened. "We thought Master was experiencing deviation, so we rashly entered the secret room. Please forgive us." Lu Zhou looks up at the barrier above, which indeed has weakened compared to before. He wonders why. While he was deeply immersed in contemplating heavenly writing, the barrier's energy was drawn into him. This session of contemplation was indeed regrettable, as the barrier's power clashed with the heavenly writing's energy, destroying the secret room as well. After pondering for a moment, he says again sternly, "Entering the secret room without permission merits punishment." Hua Wudao, Duan Musheng, 30 strokes of the cane. Zhao Yu, 20 strokes. Everyone is so frightened they dare not even breathe heavily, promptly accepting their punishment. "We accept our punishment." Little Yuaner doesn't dare say anything or ask why she's not being punished. Obviously, because of her young age, such a decision wouldn't be made against her. Hua Wudao, Duan Musheng, and Zhao Yu are the ones who should be punished. Lu Zhou then calmly orders, "Repair the secret room within half a month." We obey the order. Hua Wudao willingly accepts the punishment and inquires with a bow, "Pavilion Lord, do you feel any discomfort in your cultivation?" "What? Are you questioning me?" Hua Wudao dares not. The situation just now was indeed critical. Presumably, it was an illusion of deviation caused by the Pavilion Lord's supreme prowess. Lu Zhou doesn't feel the need to explain too much about this, as even he is unclear about the heavenly writing. His cultivation is still at the Divine Court realm, the plasticity stage, and in terms of cultivation alone, he is not even comparable to Zhou Jifeng. It would be impossible for 100 Divine Court realm cultivators to defeat 3 nascent Divinity Tribulation realm cultivators. What surprises him is the extraordinary power of the heavenly writing, which, besides sonic power, has such formidable strength. A single move repelled 4 people, and the 6 union with the Dao seals were crushed like brittle tofu. Deviation? Lu Zhou finds it amusing. How could he be deviating when he was merely contemplating here? Hua Wudao, embarrassed to continue on this topic, says, "It was our misjudgment." Meanwhile, outside Evil Sky Pavilion, some female disciples worryingly discuss whether they should go into check. Pan Lydian lazily comments, "To live or to die. It's not a big deal." The female disciples glance back at him with irritation. "If something happens to Evil Sky Pavilion, there will be no wine for you." Pan Lydian pauses, considering, "That's a good point. I hope Evil Sky Pavilion remains safe." He looks up towards the direction of Evil Sky Pavilion's focal point, where everything around the vent appears calm as usual, and the azure sky has returned to its normal state. The barrier's strength has weakened by more than half. The previous barrier couldn't stop him, and now it's even less likely. Pan Lydian shakes his head and sighs. The glory of Evil Sky Pavilion will never return. However, just as he finishes speaking, he sees Lu Zhou walking towards him with large strides. strides. Pan Litian's face stiffens, somewhat in disbelief. You're alright? Do you wish something had happened to me? Pan Litian shakes his wine gourd in response. Not at all. If something happened to you, I'd have no good wine to drink. After saying this, he lazily finds a spot to lean against. Hearing this, little Yuaner snorts. Drink, drink, all you know is to drink. Drink yourself to death. Disliking his attitude, little Yuaner flexes her fists and limbers up. Master, you said we shouldn't bully the weak, sick, and elderly. Would it be proper for me to hit him? Lu Zhou, puzzled, responds. Did I say that? No, I remembered wrong. Little Yuaner chuckles but approaches Pan Litian. Pan Litian, startled, jumps. Little girl, I'm too old to withstand your punches. Don't come any closer. Little Yuaner doesn't waste words, directly throwing several punches at him. Soon, Pan Litian is beaten black and blue. Despite his cultivation being disabled, the toughness from his quenched body realm remains, making him more resistant to blows than an ordinary person. Lu Zhou looks at him meaningfully. With your status and position, you could have enjoyed your later years. Why have you fallen to this state? Pan Litian shakes his head. Being a beggar is great. No need for dignity to get food. You indeed have no dignity. My skin isn't thick. I'll get lost after I'm full and drunk. Hearing this, Lu Zhou curiously asks, get lost? To where? Anywhere. What? After drinking Evil Sky Pavilion's wine, you think you can just leave? Pan Litian realizes his mistake. I'm just a beggar, a worthless life. I can't do anything. Lu Zhou shakes his head in disagreement. If I've decided to keep you here, then I can support you. Even a table or a pig has its value. Pan Litian nods, finding sense in the words, but then rethinks it. Isn't the value of a pig to be slaughtered for its meat? Does that mean he wants to kill him? After pondering for a while, Pan Litian says, I've remembered an old acquaintance. Little Yuaner laughs. What old acquaintance? Your grandson is doing fine. He's not been around Evil Sky Pavilion recently, but you'll see him in a few days. Pan Litian, ignoring little Yuaner, insists, I'll make my decision after I see him. Hua Wudao glances at him. Your grandson is at Evil Sky Pavilion? Little Yuaner speaks with certainty, cutting in Pan Zhong's grandfather. Pan Litian is utterly speechless. It seems this matter can't be clarified easily. Upon hearing it's Pan Zhong's grandfather, the surrounding onlookers crowd around with enthusiasm. Lu Zhou, meanwhile, returns to the interior of Evil Sky Pavilion. Now, he finally has time to open the system interface and ponder what exactly happened during his contemplation. The extraordinary power of heavenly writing is indeed very strong, but why did it trigger the energy of the barrier to flow backward? He checks the heavenly writing interface, and the characters have not increased compared to before, indicating that it still displays the human character volume. The first supernatural ability known from the heavenly writing human character volume is the sonic power type. Therefore, the heavenly writing open should be the second supernatural ability, the extinguishing wisdom supernatural power. It seems to be a method similar to the determination seal, only far more powerful. The power of the supernatural ability has been verified, and based on the feeling of contemplation, its power will gradually increase as the contemplation progresses. Perhaps there will be a third, fourth, or even more supernatural abilities. He continues to contemplate heavenly writing. Lu Zhou sits in meditation. With the display of power from two supernatural abilities, he feels he should put more effort into contemplating heavenly writing. Time quickly moves to the next day. Early in the morning, little Yuaner enters with a knock. Master, a flying letter from Jian. I'll read it to you. Esteemed elder, the disturbance in the Golden Court Mountains barrier has spread to the 10 major sects. The situation may be unfavorable for Evil Sky Pavilion. Elder, please give me some insight to prepare myself. After reading, little Yuaner appears somewhat annoyed. Master, I think Jian is just a fence sitter. Lu Zhou responds, send a reply to Jian before my ultimate demise. No one can touch Evil Sky Pavilion. Meanwhile, within Mount Tranquility's underworld sect, Yu Zhenghai turns to Siwuya beside him, 7th junior brother. Are you saying that the power of Golden Court Mountains barrier has been halved? Siwuya nods calmly. The message from my people wouldn't be false. The reverse flow of energy indicates someone is drawing the barrier's power. In Evil Sky Pavilion, besides our master, who else has the audacity to draw energy? Why can't he just accept aging? Forcefully drawing energy might sustain a strong cultivation level, but it will inevitably affect lifespan. If that's the case, our master might be in trouble. Siwuya asks, puzzled. Big senior brother, are you planning to help our master? Yu Zhenghai shakes his head. Helping or not doesn't really matter. 7th junior brother, in your opinion, who among the current situation in Evil Sky Pavilion will be the first to act? Siwuya speaks with a smile, elaborating, among the 10 righteous paths, excluding 7 Stars Villa and Danshin sect, which simply follow the crowd and don't harbor deep hatred towards the demonic path. Of the remaining sects, Heaven Sword sect, Orthodox sect, Clarity sect, and Tianchi Dao originate from the Taoist lineage. Rui and Henku school, Jinsang school, and Principled Forest school come from the Confucian lineage. The latter are traditionally moderate and have less conflict with the demonic path. On the other hand, the Taoist lineage has constant conflicts. Orthodox sect's elders Zhang Qiuqi and Zhang Chunlai are dead. Heaven Sword sect Master Luo Chanfeng was killed by our master in one move during the siege on Golden Court Mountain. Clarity Sect is now in disarray. Big Senior Brother personally handling it. Tianshi Dao has remained inactive. Therefore, Orthodox Sect and Heaven Sword Sect are most likely to take action first. However, Orthodox Sect Master Zhang Yuanshan is famously cowardly. Previously, Zhang Yuanshan secretly met with demon-slaying Sect Master Renbuping at Green Jade Altar, and with Renbuping now dead, having been bitten once, Zhang Yuanshan is 10 years afraid of the well rope and won't make a move. Siwuya analyzes profusely, but Yu Zhenghai doesn't absorb a word. Having controlled the underworld sect for years, if every subordinate reported in such detail, wouldn't he be overwhelmed? Get to the point. Hearing this, Siwuya offers a slight smile and mentions 3 words: Heaven Sword Sect. 3 days later, the extraordinary power had recovered by about half. It seemed it would take 7 to 10 days to fully replenish. Lu Zhou opens the system interface to find a new mission popping up, to find a lost key. He searches his memories, but nothing in Ji Tiandao's recollections gives a clue about this key. The fragmented memories are like torn pieces of paper, too difficult to piece back together. Given the mission is to find a lost key, it must unlock some sort of cabinet, box, or similar container. Only the secret chamber and the warehouse in the northern pavilion of Evil Sky Pavilion seem to be places where boxes are stored. As Lu Zhou ponders, little Yuaner runs over with an unsigned flying letter. Master, there's an anonymous flying letter. Clarity Sect has been besieged. Underworld Sect's leader Yu Zhenghai has begun a massacre. Clarity Sect's leader Machi, injured, has fled to the Slender West Lake Sect. Pan Zhong has already headed to Slender West Lake, which might be dangerous. Ha. Although the letter isn't signed, they guess the sender from the final 3 words. Jian Jin, that guy, probably couldn't sign the letter. He always adds ha at the end. What's Pan Zhong doing going to Slender West Lake? Looking for trouble. Lu Zhou doesn't dwell on this question much, but looks towards the eastern pavilion courtyard, not seeing Duan Mushing or Xiao Yao, so he asks, where are the 3rd and 4th? They're lying down in the southern pavilion. Little Yuana responds, shaking his head. Lu Zhou comments, it was lenient to only penalize them for breaking into the secret chamber. Tell the 3rd to go to the main hall. Little Yuana nods and hurries off towards the southern pavilion. Lu Zhou looks up at the sun, noting it's still early, and walks outside the eastern pavilion. Soon, he's outside Evil Sky Pavilion, where he sees Pan Lydian still lying in the same spot, lazily sunbathing and occasionally taking a sip of wine. Lu Zhou tosses the flying letter to him, suggesting he take a look for himself. Pan Lydian reads the message on the flying letter carefully, and upon seeing the word danger, he immediately becomes alert. His previously languid expression instantly turns grave and serious. Pan Zhong has joined Evil Sky Pavilion. Do you not plan to save him? Pan Lydian hurries to catch up. Lu Zhou responds with a calm demeanor. It's true that Pan Zhong has entered Evil Sky Pavilion, but that doesn't mean I have to save him. Why not? Pan Zhong was granted entry to Evil Sky Pavilion, where I bestowed upon him the 6 bright technique to counteract the bitter cold of the 3 dark technique. He could have become a valuable asset to Evil Sky Pavilion, yet he chose to leave on his own accord. If everyone in Evil Sky Pavilion acted this way, how would I maintain authority? Pan Lydian is left speechless. After all, Pan Zhong brought trouble upon himself. The rule of Evil Sky Pavilion is that once you join, you must cut off all past ties. Breaking the rule and facing any consequences is solely one's own responsibility, and no one else is to blame. Lu Zhou looks at him and asks, who exactly are you to him? Pan Lydian sighs lightly. I ceased to be a member of the Pan family over 200 years ago. This statement is akin to an indirect acknowledgement. Lu Zhou doesn't press further, just needing to confirm there's a relationship between Pan Zhong and him. The specifics of their connection, whether it's familial or something else, don't matter. So, you came to Evil Sky Pavilion just to see him? Pan Lydian nods, no longer displaying his previously nonchalant attitude. I don't have many days left, just a small wish before I die. Lu Zhou then makes his position clear. By joining Evil Sky Pavilion, you can logically go to save Pan Zhong. Pan Lydian stood frozen in place. The thought hadn't even crossed his mind. Even though he had left Clarity Sect hundreds of years ago, in the eyes of the outside world, he was always seen as the top master of Clarity Sect, with many waiting for his return. Joining Evil Sky Pavilion, wouldn't that make a laughingstock out of him in the cultivation world? More importantly, with his cultivation all but gone, what did Evil Sky Pavilion see in him? Seemingly reading his thoughts, Lu Zhou threw in another bombshell. I happen to have a piece of black magnolia in my possession. Hearing this, Pan Lydian's pupils dilated dramatically, and he looked up at the serene-faced Lu Zhou. He came to freeload off food and drink, planning to leave after, yet now it seemed he had freeloaded his way into a commitment. It felt like he was being swayed. The black magnolia in Lu Zhou's possession, acquired from Qi Yuan, turned out to be useful now. While the black magnolia couldn't fully restore his cultivation, it could at least bring back about 20 to 30% of it. For a cultivator, the significance of one's cultivation is self-evident. I don't believe he won't be tempted. If he wished to maintain his original identity and status, all he needed was not to leave Clarity Sect. Since he chose to leave Clarity Sect, even if it was a spur-of-the-moment decision fueled by pride, it meant he had already drawn a line with his past. Now, with Pan Zhong in danger, he likely wouldn't care too much about how the outside world views his change of identity. Just then, little Yuana ran over from Evil Sky Pavilion. Master, the third brother has arrived. No rush. If your brother is tired, let him rest. Resigned, Pan Lydian clapped his hands and extended a thumbs up to Lu Zhou. The older ginger is indeed spicier. I'm no match for you. Will the wine suffice? It will suffice. Century-old brew? Century-old brew. Very well. Lu Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Send a message to Elder Hua. I'm off to the shores of Slender West Lake. Lu Zhou's decision to head to Slender West Lake was not only for Pan Zhong. With Underworld Sect pursuing Clarity Sect, Yu Zhenghai might also appear at the lake shore. This was an excellent opportunity. The strengthened version of the cage binding cards in his hand were specifically prepared for those renegade disciples. Just as little Yuana was about to carry out the order and leave, a black shadow flickered nearby, ghost-like in its sudden appearance. There's no need for Elder Hua to go. I'd like to take a look myself. Little Yuana paused for a moment. Fan Xiuwen? She felt somewhat perplexed, sensing something odd about this person. If not for her master's ability to keep him in check, little Yuana would prefer to stay as far away from him as possible. Wearing a black mask, Fan Xiuwen shook his head with profound eyes. Fan Xiuwen is dead. There is only Leng Luo in this world. Little Yuana tactfully stepped aside, sticking out her tongue slightly. Hearing the name Leng Luo, Pan Lydian seemed incredulous. You are the Leng Luo who was ranked first on the blacklist 300 years ago? Leng Luo remained silent, neither confirming nor denying. The mask hid his expressions, but his posture conveyed a clear message. Old man, now you know who the real youngster here is, don't you? Pan Lydian nodded slowly. Not bad, not bad. His comments sounded ambiguous, hard to tell whether it was a compliment or sarcasm. Leng Luo huffed. Young and ignorant, I won't stoop to your level. Little Yuana chuckled and introduced. He's not young either. Pan Zhong's grandfather, the top master of Clarity Sect. Leng Luo glanced sideways. Whether he's Pan Zhong's grandfather or not is one thing, but being known as the top master of Clarity Sect is indeed recognized by the cultivation world. He was a cultivation genius of his time, contemporaneous with him. Pan Lydian did not deny it, though his appearance showed his age and he was slightly stooped. These details were unimportant. What mattered was the aura that hinted at his past glory. Comparing their past, neither was any younger than the other. Lu Zhou broke the silence. Leng Luo, your injuries are not fully healed, only about 40% recovered. Are you still intending to go to the shores of Slender West Lake? Confidently, Leng Luo replied. Please allow it, Pavilion Master. Although Leng Luo is injured, it's sufficient for self-protection. Sufficient for your self-protection, perhaps. But who the hell is going to protect me? Hua Wudao is an expert dedicated to the study of the turtle shrinking technique. Could protect the cloud-piercing flying chariot at crucial moments. Though Leng Luo was strong, his severe injuries would not be much of an asset to this mission and might even become a liability. Are you wanting to see Machi? Leng Luo bowed slightly, neither confirming nor denying. It was clear that Leng Luo truly despised Machi. Pan Lydian chuckled. All I can do now is watch the show. Now without any cultivation, he could only observe the battle like a bystander. Soon after, the cloud-piercing flying chariot departed from Evil Sky Pavilion, Duan Mushing at the helm. The chariot's flight was erratic, now ascending, now descending, far from steady. Scratching his head awkwardly, Duan Mushing apologized. This is my first time. Please don't be too harsh. Unable to bear it any longer, Leng Luo stepped in to stabilize the chariot, and only then did it begin to smooth out. Lu Zhou offered guidance to Duan Mushing. Ensure primal energy is evenly distributed. Keep steady on the helm, look straight ahead, and adjust the rhythm accordingly. Under Lu Zhou's instruction, Duan Mushing managed to stabilize the chariot somewhat, but it was still far from smooth sailing. This couldn't be helped. Not everyone was cut out for this task. Duan Mushing, feeling the pressure of being watched by several formidable figures, couldn't help but mutter, I really miss Ming Shireen right now. An hour later, at the Slender West Villa on the banks of Slender West Lake, Machi, the sect master of Clarity Sect, was seated in meditation, appearing extremely weary. Have we caught Pan Zhong? Upon his inquiry, a disciple quickly responded, Pan Zhong is too cunning. We've been tailing him but still haven't caught him. Plus, with Underworld Sect relentlessly pursuing us, we didn't dare to search recklessly. A flash of anger crossed Machi's face. Yu Zhenghai has gone too far. The battle in Anyang City disrupted my plans. Now, Yu Zhenghai's attack on Clarity Sect caught us completely off guard, destroying all 7 peaks of our sect. Apart from me, only a dozen loyal disciples are left. The disciple bowed and said, Please, Sect Master, calm your anger. With the formation Moli set up around Slender West Lake, even Yu Zhenghai wouldn't dare to intrude recklessly. Moreover, Underworld Sect doesn't know we've fled here. Machi shook his head with a sigh and asked, Any letters from the palace? The disciple answered, Master Moli said there will be a turnaround soon. The second prince is doing well in the palace. Machi uttered a word of agreement, slowly standing up despite his injuries. Had it not been for the sonic power, great supernatural powers that injured my internal organs during the battle in Anyang, I would not be in such a sorry state. The sect master is right. Yu Zhenghai is fortunate to have received the aid of a superior. During that battle in Anyang, the get lost great supernatural powers repelled everyone. He was the first to be affected. suffering the most. Regrettably, he couldn't see clearly who it was that emitted the sonic power and had to flee hastily. Arriving outside the villa, Machi felt much more relaxed. A disciple then asked, "Sect Master, now that Pan Zhong has joined Evil Sky Pavilion, is it appropriate for us to capture him?" Before Machi could respond, another disciple interjected. Yu Xinghai, the eldest disciple of Evil Sky Pavilion, has killed so many from Clarity Sect. Capturing just Pan Zhong is far from enough. Moreover, Pan Zhong is a traitor to Clarity Sect. His death would be no loss. As they were speaking, an Underworld Sect flying chariot slowly appeared in the sky, with Underworld Sect's flag fluttering in the wind. Hua Chongyang stood with his hands behind his back, his voice booming down and stirring ripples across slender West Lake. "Those who follow me shall prosper. Those who oppose me shall perish. Machi, you might as well surrender." Machi furrowed his brows and sternly instructed his disciples, "Ignore him. The enigmatic formation can block Underworld Sect." Hua Chongyang confidently looked down. "Machi, by becoming the court's lapdog, Clarity Sect should have known this day would come. Surrender peacefully, and maybe the Sect Master will spare your life." Machi retorted, "Hua Chongyang, you're nothing but Yu Xinghai's dog. Underworld Sect takes advantage of others' misfortune and dares to arrogantly wish to capture me." Unperturbed, Hua Chongyang replied, "A homeless cur can only boast with words. Even if the King of Heaven himself were here, he couldn't save you." Machi did not respond again, but turned to look at the remaining Clarity Sect disciples. "Is there any news from the 7 sons of the Clarity Sect?" Reporting to the Sect Master, "The 7 masters and elder you did not catch up. I fear the worst." Feeling a tightness in his chest, Machi spoke with reluctance. "When will the palace reinforcements arrive?" "The palace has been informed by flying letter, but there has been no response." "Sect Master, although Yu Xinghai is powerful, he has weaknesses. Instead of sitting ducks, why not?" Before the disciple could finish, the Clarity Sect disciples suddenly noticed something strange. The flying chariot floating in midair turned and fled. Everyone watched in bewilderment. "Sect Master, Underworld Sect has retreated." "Fantastic. Sect Master is wise. Hua Chongyang is nothing but a bully relying on others' power." At this moment, Hua Chongyang lost all semblance of the formidable presence he had earlier. Transforming completely as if dejected, he slunk into the flying chariot, turning it southward to flee. "Machi, you win, I concede. Farewell." A man knows when to bend and when to stand. Under such circumstances, it's best to retract one's words. "Let's flee." As the flying chariot vanished without a trace, the disciples below were stunned. Even if the enigmatic formation was formidable, it was ultimately immobile. There was no need for such fear, right? "What's that?" A disciple pointed northward, alerting the others. Looking in that direction, they saw a meteor-like flying chariot approaching from the north, trailing a long tail over the forests and mountains separating the north side of slender West Lake. "Evil Sky Pavilion?" Machi coughed and stepped back, his complexion turning exceedingly grim. No wonder Underworld Sect fled. It turned out Evil Sky Pavilion's flying chariot had arrived. The cloud-piercing flying chariot landed on the mountaintop, then suddenly began to shake and turned over, rolling down the slope. What does Evil Sky Pavilion mean by this? A warning? Too much bullying. Machi clenched his teeth, feeling congested in his chest. On the cloud-piercing flying chariot, Duan Mushing awkwardly looked towards the astonished crowd. "Sorry, I didn't control the speed well. My apologies." Little Yuaner pointed down. "Master, that's Slender West Villa ahead. Slender West Lake has always been a place for the nobility of the palace to relax and play. Why would Machi of Clarity Sect appear here?" Lin Luo looked at Lu Zhou puzzledly. "As the leader of the Black Cavalry, directly under the Emperor, even you do not know?" Lin Luo shook his head. "The Black Cavalry only executes missions, never inquiring into court affairs." Lu Zhou, recalling the powerful sorcery wielded from a flying chariot impersonating Underworld Sect during the battle in Anyan, then said, "Machi and Moli, in your opinion, what is their relationship?" Lin Luo replied, "As far as I know, Moli is a woman, one skilled in bewitching minds and strong in sorcery. If not so, how could I have been taken advantage of in my vulnerable state, a hero fallen at the beauty's trick?" Lu Zhou's usually stoic face cracked a rare smile. "I remember, Machi had an elder brother who parted ways with him early on and vanished. Man or woman, they all must die," Lin Luo stated darkly. The flying chariot then came to a stop, hovering over slender West Lake. Zhao Yu and several female disciples were responsible for maintaining the flying chariot's hover. Lu Zhou surveyed the entire slender West Villa. Apart from 2 disciples, this time he really brought along the old and infirm. It seems difficult even to save on some tool cards. With only 4 lethal strikes left, he had to use them sparingly. "System, are you intentionally increasing the difficulty to prevent me from relying too much on tool cards?" Lin Luo glanced around and made an accurate judgment. "There's a formation. These pavilions are built according to the positions of the gossip. Though they appear elongated, there are obvious primal energy fluctuations around the villa. Among the Clarity Sect experts, none are skilled at constructing such a large formation, so it's very likely that a sorcery formation surrounds the villa. The primal energy fluctuations are just a facade." At that moment, more than a dozen cultivators in green robes appeared in slender West Villa. Lu Zhou scanned them and found not even one nascent divinity tribulation realm expert. Machi didn't dare to come out, but sent send a bunch of cannon fodder instead. Duan Mushing shouted, "Bring out that old thief Machi." The cultivators trembled, their faces pale and foreheads sweaty. "We are unaware of the noble visit to Slender West Villa. What brings you here?" Lu Zhou shook his head. "Why Evil Sky Pavilion comes here? Machi knows better than anyone. Clarity Sect has fallen to such a state, yet you still send some underlings to waste time." He waved his hand indifferently. "Clean them up." Disciple, obeying the order. Little Yuana responded with a nod and charged forward with her weapon. Upon receiving the order, Little Yuana, light as a feather, activated the 7 Stars Gathering Cloud step, wielding a large hammer to attack the Clarity Sect disciples. The more than a dozen cultivators were no match, screaming as they were consecutively knocked to the ground. "Master, your disciple has completed the task." Lu Zhou nodded, his gaze sweeping over the entire Slender West Villa, and shouted deeply, "Machi." His voice was robust and powerful, radiating outward from above, visibly causing the airwaves to roll out, sweeping across the entire Slender West Lake Villa. Lin Luo couldn't help but express his admiration. "Impressive." Lu Zhou responded calmly, "It's just a minor skill, achievable at the Divine Court realm." Lin Luo's gaze intensified, but to control sonic power so delicately, reaching every corner, would not be possible without centuries of cultivation. Even a nascent Divinity Tribulation realm expert would struggle to achieve such meticulous control. Pan Litian nodded in agreement. "I concur with your statement. The realm of cultivation is one thing, but skills and experience cannot be compared simply by realm." Lu Zhou found their praise quite pleasing to hear, perhaps due to their distinguished statuses, making their flattery more comfortable than most. Machi, hiding inside and not daring to come out, responded with his voice, "Ji Tiandao." The sound waves recoiled, as if the air itself twisted. Duan Mushing stepped forward upon hearing this. "This old scoundrel refuses the toast only to drink a forfeit. Your disciple is willing to take the lead, digging 3 feet into the ground if necessary, to unearth this old man." Lu Zhou waved his hand, indicating there was no need. At that moment, another voice echoed from within the villa. "Evil Sky Pavilion's tyranny is unbearable. This vendetta must be avenged to not live in vain." The voice gradually faded away, clearly an escape. With Leng Luo's cultivation not yet recovered and Pan Litian unreliable, everyone turned their eyes to Lu Zhou, curious about the method he would use to pursue. As Lu Zhou softly called out, a deep roar resonated near everyone's ears within a few breaths. Little Yuana was already accustomed to such sights, while Leng Luo and Pan Litian appeared particularly astonished. 2 individuals, both seasoned and distinguished figures of high standing, had plenty of time throughout their extensive cultivation lives to seek out mounts. Even if it were mounts of epic status, they would willingly accept them. Regrettably, such creatures are hard to come by. Many of the fierce beasts in the misty forest simply aren't suitable for riding. Even if one were captured and tamed, it could only serve as a beast of burden. Encountering such rare and legendary mounts was even less likely. At this moment, Lu Zhou commanded solemnly, "Find him." Bian roared and leapt into the air, then swiftly dove towards the ground. Upon contact, it pierced through several buildings. Lin Luo respectfully inquired, "May I ask where this creature came from, Pavilion Lord?" "I once ventured into the misty forest, traversed the land without deceit for 300 days, cutting down tens of thousands of fierce beasts along the way. By sheer luck, I encountered Bian and spent nearly several months taming it." Hearing this, everyone immediately showed a mix of awe and envy. What defines a powerhouse? This probably sums it up. Bian's ferocity was fully demonstrated. Just by its sheer physical strength, it caused destruction to the buildings in the Slender West Villa. Unlike mounts like Whitesert, which possess certain special abilities, Bian is extremely fierce, with formidable martial prowess. If it were to unleash its full power, even cultivators at the Divine Court realm wouldn't stand a chance against it. Its defensive capabilities are also strong, feeling no pain when crashing into structures. Lu Zhou hadn't had the opportunity to test just how strong Bian could be, only estimating its combat power from the current battle. If it were to lose the mount in a battle against a strong opponent, it would be a significant loss. Perhaps when his strength increased, playing along with it might reveal the true combat power of the mount. Sensing the danger Bian brought, several cultivators rushed out and stabbed towards it with their swords. With consecutive thuds, however, their fierce attacks were merely like tickles to it. Bian was utterly unharmed. The Clarity Sect disciples panicked and turned to flee. Bian immediately became excited, batting them away one by one, sending them flying on the spot. "Stop! Evil Sky Pavilion is going too far." A robust shout swept through, the voice belonging to Machi, who still dared not show himself. Duan Mushing retorted angrily, "Old scoundrel, did you ever consider if you were going too far when you besieged the Golden Court Mountain? You only allow yourselves to bully others, but won't allow others to fight back. Disgraceful, unworthy of being the Clarity Sect's leader." After a moment of silence, Machi's voice came through again, "I'd rather shatter than be complete in disgrace." Leng Luo confidently pointed in that direction. "He's over there." Lu Zhou, observing the surrounding environment, stated, "The formation has been activated. Bian, come back." He initially considered using Whitesert again, given Whitesert's capability to swiftly diminish the Grand Formation. However, upon reflection, he deemed it unnecessary. Why use use an axe to kill a chicken. Just before the formation was fully activated, Bion leaped outside. Following that, a figure rushed towards the sky. Streams of primal energy, appearing almost tangible under the intense convergence, continuously gathered towards the silhouette, eventually all entering the energy center in Energy Sea. Machi has mastered such a sinister technique? Truly disappointing. Machi, you have ultimately chosen the path of evil. Pan Litian's reprimand echoed with disappointment. Path of evil? Lu Zhou inquired curiously. Pan Litian explained, this is a devouring technique, drawing upon the essence and primal energy of others to nourish oneself, a nefarious method. Lin Luo's gaze sharpened, his voice calm and collected. Retreat. Avoid its edge. Once this technique succeeds, it's a fight to the death. Machi, now steeped in evil, will fall into madness. The best strategy is to avoid its initial onslaught. The formation rapidly materialized, with miscellaneous objects within the slender West Villa being lifted into the air due to a massive pulling force, swirling around Machi at the center. Machi, standing at the heart of a tornado, twisted in appearance, declared, since you're here, none shall leave. Lin Luo urgently advised once more, hear me out, avoid its edge. Lu Zhou remained unmoved, shaking his head. Machi's primal energy reached unprecedented peaks, emanating an aura of unrivaled sovereignty. Is this what invincibility feels like? Primal energy filled his being, surging towards his head, to the point where he could no longer feel his physical existence. A giant golden palm imprint appeared suddenly, reducing him to nothingness. His body, like fireworks, hung suspended, static, and gradually vanished. Ding, you have killed a nascent divinity tribulation realm target, receiving 1,500 merit points. As the palm imprint dissipated, calm returned to the surface of slender West Lake. Lin Luo and Pan Litian were utterly dumbfounded. Among the many experts of the Clarity Sect, whether it was Yuhangi, 7 sons of the Clarity Sect, or even Pan Litian himself, none possessed the confidence to flatten the sect leader with a single slap. Despite Machi's severe injuries, he was a genuine 7-leaf expert. Moreover, Machi had activated a formation and entered a state of frenzy. Little Yuaner, already accustomed to such spectacles, remarked, all that posturing, only to be turned to ash by my master's hand. Lu Zhou issued a command, search. Upon receiving the command, little Yuaner immediately leaped down from the flying chariot. Moments later, she returned to the flying chariot, hovering in midair. Master, there's no one left. Pan Litian looked at her with admiration and commented, given time, this girl will surely achieve great things. Little Yuaner curiously looked at him. Are you praising me? Pan Litian nodded. There aren't many who can catch my eye, and you definitely are one. You have good talent too. Within 5 years, you will reach the nascent soul tribulation. He had barely finished speaking when he saw little Yuaner's avatar. It was exquisite and dazzling. Lin Luo sarcastically remarked to Pan Litian, you've been out of the cultivation world for too long, perhaps unaware of this girl's reputation. Little Yuaner entered Golden Court Mountain at the age of 10, reached the Mystic Enlightening Realm in 10 days, Condensing Realm in 3 months, opened 8 meridians in the Brahma Sea Realm within 2 years, entered the Divine Court Realm in 3 years, and reached the Nascent Soul within a year. In this world, there's likely no one who can compare to her. Pan Litian was stunned, disbelief apparent in his murky eyes. Inconceivable, how can a human possess such talent? Little Yuaner, flattered by the praise, appeared somewhat complacent, leading Lu Zhou to sternly remind, remember the elders' praise and stay humble and cautious. As he finished speaking, the water surface suddenly stirred. Bubbles formed rapidly, becoming more frequent until a figure burst forth towards the shore, coughing up a mouthful of blood before losing consciousness. It was Pan Zhong, who had been missing for a while. Lin Luo commented indifferently, interesting, managing to hide at the lake's bottom until now. Suppressing his excitement, Pan Litian said, now that he's been found, let's save him. Lin Luo shook his head. It's useless. You know better than anyone the multitude of sinister techniques in Clarity Sect. He needs to be treated right now. Pan Litian's eyelids twitched. He too could tell Pan Zhong was seriously injured. Without prompt treatment, his life was in jeopardy. Xiao Yu stepped forward to volunteer. Let me check on him. With Lu Zhou's nod, she jumped down from the flying chariot and approached Pan Zhong. After examining him with the clear jade technique, she reported, Master, he's been struck by a palm, and his injuries are severe. Lin Luo spoke calmly, chasing after Machi with just a mere divine court realm cultivation, overestimating oneself. Pan Litian furrowed his brows in defense. Youth is an asset. His courage and insight are commendable. What's the use of courage and insight if one lacks strength? Isn't it the same as courting death? On a small scale, it's about one person's life and death. On a larger scale, it concerns the safety of a nation. If everyone were to shrink back, how could there be peace and prosperity? Even knowing death is certain, one must live without regrets. So, is that why you choose to live in seclusion and beg? Is this your reason? As the two powerhouses argued back and forth, tensions escalating, Lu Zhou quickly intervened. Enough. Though they were verbally sparring, both were old monsters who had lived long lives. They wouldn't let their tempers lead to internal conflict. Such behavior is taboo in any sect, let alone an evil sky pavilion. After a moment of silence, Pan Litian looked at the severely injured Pan Zhong and said, I no longer need the black magnolia. Give it to him. Lu Zhou asked emotionlessly, "Are you sure? What's there to hold on to? I've grown tired of living and weary of everything. I know my request might be excessive, given that I haven't contributed to Evil Sky Pavilion, but Pan Zhong is still young, and I believe he knows what to do." Lu Zhou nodded in response and then leaped out of the flying chariot. Seeing this, Lin Luo followed suit. Pan Lydian was left staring from above. Duan Mushing looked at him and chuckled. "I'll take you down." Then, enveloping Pan Lydian in forceful energy, they descended to the ground where Lu Zhou had already begun his action. With a wave of his hand, the healing card shattered, and a faint golden glow appeared in his palm. Pan Zhong's complexion visibly improved at a speed visible to the naked eye. Both onlookers were astonished. Is this the Buddhist merciful fairy salvation? Unexpectedly, the demon sex ancestor, renowned for his mercilessness, had perfected a Buddhist healing technique to such an extent. In the world of cultivation, it was rare for someone to master the essence of many schools, and even more rare to see someone as effortlessly proficient in the merciful fairy salvation as Lu Zhou. After all, who would devote themselves to mastering a healing technique just for fun? Moments later, Lu Zhou withdrew his hand, ending the treatment. Seeing Pan Zhong's condition stabilize, Pan Lydian gratefully bowed to Lu Zhou in thanks. Ding, loyalty increased by 5%. Hearing the system's notification, Lu Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Pan Lydian, after all, was the foremost expert of clarity sect, on par with Lung Luo. Such a subordinate's merit points reward was 2,000 points. Managing him was challenging, but this venture was profitable, costing only a single lethal strike card. After instructing Duan Mushing to take Pan Zhong back to the flying chariot, a flirtatious whistle came from afar at the edge of Slender West Lake, carrying a clearly enticing tone. Lu Zhou, following the sound, walked towards the east side of Slender West Lake with hands behind his back, little Yuaner hopping along behind. Duan Mushing stayed put, still not quite adept at controlling the flying chariot. Following the master on a minor detour was obviously inconvenient for him. The group soon arrived at Slender West Garden, where they saw a young man leaning against a fence, casually flicking his legs. Little Yuaner couldn't help but roll her eyes. Shameless. Jiang Aijian awkwardly greeted them. "Elder, the flying letter was successfully delivered. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to meet you." Lu Zhou asked how he knew Machi was here. Jiang Aijian straightened up and explained, "That was easy. I intercepted Machi's flying letters. He's been seeking help everywhere, and the only one who could save him is Moli." After saying this, Jiang Aijian glanced at Lin Luo and Pan Lydian, then enthusiastically grabbed Pan Lydian's hand, greeting him warmly. "Elder Hua, nice to meet you." Pan Lydian was taken aback by the greeting. Jiang Aijian then turned his attention to Lin Luo. "Lord Fan, the leader of the Black Cavalry. Nice to meet you." Lin Luo, with a cold expression, responded with just one word: "Get lost." Jiang Aijian, scared, quickly retreated next to Pan Lydian. Elder Hua is much more approachable. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Pan Lydian kicked him. "Where did this nonsense come from?" Jiang Aijian felt wronged. "I'm greeting you with good intentions, and this is how you repay me?" Seeing this, little Yuaner formally introduced them. "He is Pan Zhong's grandfather, the first expert of Clarity Sect." Jiang Aijian's eyes widened in shock. "I heard the first expert of Clarity Sect had left the sect and disappeared for over 100 years. No one knew where he went. I never expected him to appear in Evil Sky Pavilion. Such a bigwig, though not as formidable as the patriarch of Evil Sky Pavilion, was not someone easy to provoke. It was better to keep a low profile. It was my mistake for not recognizing Master Pan. Please don't take it personally, considering I saved Pan Zhong." Seeing his obsequious attitude, Lu Zhou was somewhat speechless. "You saved Pan Zhong?" Jiang Aijian flipped his hair vainly. "If it weren't for my quick actions, he might have already died. Trying to ambush Machi with just a divine court realm cultivation is truly overestimating oneself." Pan Lydian slightly bowed to Jiang Aijian. Jiang Aijian smiled back. "It's nothing." Lin Luo then asked, "Why didn't you come out to help earlier when you were watching from the sidelines?" Jiang Aijian explained helplessly, "It was the enigmatic formation, not fully activated yet. Besides, a high-level expert like Machi is not someone I can deal with. I brought you here to tell you to leave quickly, before the people from the palace arrive." Lin Luo questioned, "Didn't you intercept Machi's flying letters?" "I intercepted several, but I couldn't catch them all." Just as he finished speaking, the sound of horse hooves approached from afar. Hundreds of soldiers appeared in their line of sight, led by a woman in blue brocade clothes. The woman dismounted gracefully and approached Lu Zhou with a polite curtsy. Brocade clothes pays respect to the esteemed elder. After her greeting, she glanced at Jiang Aijian. Lu Zhou surmised her purpose for being there and inquired, "Are you here to support Machi?" Brocade Clothes' face showed embarrassment. Brocade Clothes is merely following orders. Anyone nearing Slender West Villa is to be killed without exception. The esteemed elder has shown kindness to Brocade Clothes. How could I be ungrateful? If the esteemed elder departs from the vicinity of Slender West Lake now, Brocade Clothes will take care of everything here. This statement baffled both Lung Luo and Pan Lydian. A favor? Since when did Evil Sky Pavilion collude with the court? Brocade Clothes continued, "There's more support coming from the palace, expected to arrive soon." Hearing this, Jiang Aijian instinctively wanted to flee. "More support? I've got something else to handle. I'll take my leave first." first. Lu Zhou called out to him. Hold on. Elder, may I assist you with something? Lu Zhou smiled slightly. I have a question for you. Please ask. Elder, I will withhold nothing in my response. I received news yesterday that Zhang Yuanshan discovered his loved one's affair and killed the adulterers with a slap. He's been in a bad mood these past few days. Lu Zhou wasn't interested in Zhang Yuanshan's personal affairs, but he firmly grasped Jian Aijian's arm. I'm asking you, is Moli still in the palace? Jian Aijian, reluctant yet unable to leave, answered truthfully. One of the divine capital's top 3 archers, Chenju, was her subordinate. After Chenju's death, the second prince was so enraged he spit blood and confined her. This aligned with Lu Zhou's assessment. He asked again, has Moli been up to anything recently? She's been quite obedient. After several encounters with you, Elder, she's been severely injured. Without some time to recover, she might not bounce back. With such fierce internal strife in the palace, does the emperor not care? Jian Aijian shook his head and sighed. Honestly, I don't know. The last question, the investigation into riding the yellow, was it actually ordered by the emperor? This question was very direct. After Yi Tianxin left Evil Sky Pavilion, Lu Zhou wondered why Moli was in such a hurry to research longevity methods when she was far from her life's end. The emperor, advanced in age and yet to abdicate, also had a motive to investigate, just like Qin Shi Huang on Earth, who unified the 6 kingdoms and then sought the elixir of life. Jian Aijian shook his head, indicating that was not the case. While they were conversing, a low rumble of horse hooves approached again, galloping more forcefully than Brocade Clothes and her group had. The newcomers were all cultivators. Brocade Clothes quickly warned, the Black Cavalry is here. Please leave quickly. Hearing this, Jian Aijian jumped. Esteemed elder, I'll take my leave first. Farewell. As he was about to take off, Lu Zhou grabbed his arm. You can't leave. Jian Aijian's face fell. Staying won't make a difference. Lu Zhou didn't respond, instead looking towards the direction of the Black Cavalry's approach. Given that these were reinforcements from the palace, and Jian Aijian was, after all, the 3rd prince, they could use the prince as a last resort if needed. Of course, such a scenario was unlikely. The 4 leading figures, riding on horseback and advancing through the air, arrived in front of the group. The lead rider looked at Brocade Clothes with some confusion. Brocade Clothes? Brocade Clothes calmly replied, esteemed members of the Black Cavalry, are you also acting on orders? She knew they were, but whether those orders were from the emperor or someone else was the question. The lead Black Cavalry's response was chilling. We are following our leader's orders to cleanse Slender West Villa. Brocade Clothes, your failure to execute your duties will be reported to the palace. Brocade Clothes remained unfazed. At this moment, Lin Luo stepped forward and demanded, whose orders are you under? The 4 Black Cavalry confidently answered, of course, the orders of the Black Cavalry's leader, Lord Fan Shouwen. Hearing this, Lin Luo was livid and cursed. Nonsense. The sound waves swept across. It was understandable for new recruits to join the Black Cavalry, and even for a new Black Cavalry leader to emerge, but to still use the previous name? Who could tolerate that? The 4 Black Cavalry scrutinized Lin Luo. And who might you be? Lin Luo advanced step by step, his aura intensifying. Chen Zhangyi, Yu Chong, Li Qing, Duan Yanhong. You have fought alongside me for years, killing countless foes, your very bones imbued with the murderous aura honed on the battlefield, and you dare claim to be the Black Cavalry with such a demeanor? Hearing this, the 4 were momentarily frozen. Fan Shouwen, Lin Luo. Since joining the Black Cavalry and taking up the mantle of the Dark Knights, they were constantly regaled with legends of this iconic figure. The most talked about figure in the Black Cavalry camp was Lin Luo. Even the rise of a faux Fan Shouwen couldn't immediately change Lin Luo's status within the Black Cavalry. It's impossible. Fan Shouwen was killed by the old demon. You think to deceive us? All hands, on my command. This man is impersonating our leader, Lord Fan Shouwen. He is to be executed on the spot. Kill on sight anyone who enters Slender West Villa. Hundreds of Black Cavalry shouted in unison, kill without mercy, kill without mercy. Primal energy surged, assaulting the group with its sonorous force. Seeing this, Pan Lydian shook his head and took shelter behind Lu Zhou. Rash bravery. It seems it's up to you to act. Lu Zhou maintained a calm exterior, though inwardly he muttered resignedly, act. With so many Black Cavalry, I don't have enough lethal strike cards. However, keeping a prince as a precaution wasn't a bad idea. With that thought, he extended his aged hand to secure Jian Aijian, offering a kind and gentle smile. Don't be afraid. I'm not scared at all. Ah, you honor. Keep an eye on him.